Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Rocket Chiro Podcast, the business and marketing podcast for chiropractors. My name's Jerry. I'm your host, and welcome to podcast number 7 of our series here for new chiropractors and chiropractors who are struggling. We're going to talk about a cheat code for your practice today. And unfortunately, I don't have a simple way. I don't have like a simple tip that's like, oh, here's how you get this. And what we're going to talk about is authority. But if you could wave a magic wand and get something, like add something to your practice to make your practice easier, short of a money tree out back, the easiest way to practice is if you have high authority. And we'll kind of unpack that a little bit of like what it is, what to do with it, kind of what your options are, sort of what the struggle is with acquiring that. But this is really a cheat code for chiropractic practice. And if you can get it, get it. If you have it, flaunt it. That's sort of the thing. Before we do go into this any further, I just want to say, if you want some additional help, check out my Next Step program at rocketchiro.com. If you want a better website, check out the Rocket Chiropractic websites. I'll be glad to help you however I can. So authority is basically, and you don't have to be known for chiropractic. I mean, this could simply be thought of as celebrity, although it's not exactly celebrity. But if you look around in our society, and if you were to say, like, there's a lot of professional athletes who have restaurants. There are a lot of, if you go to Nashville, there's a lot of country singers that have bars. There are a lot of celebrities that endorse products. There's all kinds of things like this that happen. And what's happening in those scenarios is that someone is taking their popularity, their authority, the fact that people like them, and they're using it to leverage something else that may or may not be related at all. If Michael Jordan or LeBron James, Jordan's an old reference now, right? But if LeBron James decided to not be a basketball player anymore and he was going to become a chiropractor, he would never have a new patient problem. Never. Ever, never, ever. My ex-wife used to give me like marketing tips. She used to work for this chiropractor that was successful, successful chiropractor out on the East Coast. When she was in chiropractic college, or this might have been before she was in chiropractic college, she used to work for this chiropractor, and she'd be like, Dr. So-and-so used to do this, and Dr. So-and-so used to do that. And the thing that always kind of made me roll my eyes about some of that advice was Dr. So-and-so was a female who had taken her clothes off for a magazine at some point in time. And so her practice was full of dudes. And it was like, I don't think Dr. So-and-so has a hard time getting new patients. And I don't even know that Dr. So-and-so, I don't even know that what that person does is reproducible. Because that person has an element of celebrity or popularity or interest that I can't reproduce. I'm not LeBron James. And there was a chiropractor, and I'm not going to say too much about the person, but there was a chiropractor several years ago who was really getting into coaching and making a lot of really big promises about like how they can, follow my formula and you could be successful like I'm successful and whatever. And I don't know if the person gives good advice or not. That's not even the point. The thing I found was interesting is that this particular individual is very popular outside of chiropractic. Like this person has a whole life outside of chiropractic that is verifiable, that is legit. And when you're that person and you're successful, and I'm not like dumping on that person's success and how hard someone works for their celebrity. It would be like I said, LeBron James starting a practice. I'm not crapping on the fact that he's a good basketball player, but this particular person is telling you like, oh, just follow my formula. You can be successful too. There's a big element that's missing there. And that is you're popular, you're famous, you have authority, you're known, verifiably known for doing something pretty awesome outside of the profession. How do I reproduce that? How do I know that the little tips and nuggets that you're going to give me, like, how do I know that that's even why you're successful? It may or may not be. I can tell you this, even if they're great tips, if you're a big deal, those tips will work a whole lot better It really, really is a cheat code. Now, what is authority? Authority can be a lot of different things. Some people write a book. Some people have been on the news. Some people have been on TV, like hopefully for something good. Like you don't want to be the chiropractor. That's a lot of times chiropractors are on TV and they're on the news for something terrible. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing something really amazing. And so you could be really involved in your community. I mean, you could be the celebrity and authority could be very, very small. I mean, I've talked about big things like, oh, you're, LeBron James or whatever. Those are obviously big things, but it could be very small. You could just be really, really well known within your community. And the most stable, the most successful chiropractors typically are. There's a certain level of authority. There's a certain level of admiration that the community has, or at least a segment of the community has. I mean, if you had been the mayor or you are the mayor, like I'm not saying you should be the mayor and a chiropractor, but if you were the mayor of your town and everybody knew you and then you decided to be a chiropractor, or you decided, you're in a small town, you're the mayor and the chiropractor, there's a certain level of knownness that makes it so that all of your marketing is easier. All of your marketing is better. Even SEO from a Google standpoint, like search engine optimization has a lot to do with authority. Google looks at things like reviews and how many backlinks you have and what, even domain authority, like it's a metric they use, which basically Google's looking to say like, how much authority does this website have? And the more authority the website has, the higher they're going to rank. It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code for SEO. It's a cheat code for referrals. It's a cheat code for your marketing. It's a cheat code for everything. It just makes everything easier. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be your celebrity. There was somebody that was quite a few years ago. This person was going around coaching chiropractors, and this person did this strategy. So it actually does work. I think it's a weasel strategy, but it does actually work. What this person was doing was going around telling chiropractors, you need to go to all these different events where you can meet celebrities. So they do these like meet and greets and handshakes, and anywhere you can go and meet a celebrity, get your picture with the celebrity, and then frame that picture and put a bunch of them in your office. Now you're not technically saying that so-and-so, or this person or your friends, but people make that association. So when you put those pictures on your website, you put those pictures on your, around your office or whatever, it's adding authority to who you are. It's by association. Oh, this person knows the former president. This person knows the current president. This person knows this celebrity or that boxer or this movie actor or this whatever. Oh, they're a big deal. This person is shaking hands with that Olympic athlete or whatever. It doesn't mean anything in reality, but it's how it's taken. Now you can do that if you want to. Like, I'm not telling you not to do it. I just think it's a weasel thing to do. And some of the slimiest people online who are selling like marketing programs and different things, like they do that exact same thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to go have a handshake meeting with Mark Cuban, and you'll think that like, hey, I'm like one of the sharks. It's like people do that all the time. With that said, you could do it in a more honest way, which is there are chiropractors. And when I did those top chiropractors on Instagram, like I noted celebrity with some of them, like some of them have celebrity patients, like people that everybody would know, celebrity patients. And if they will allow you to take a picture with them or do a video with them and post it online, you absolutely should. You want to take advantage of that association. If you have real relationships with people, one of these people are your patient and they're happy to take a picture with you or write you a testimonial or both. Give you a testimonial, like a video testimonial, do a video with you, adjusting them or whatever. All of those things are great. And some of those top chiropractors on Instagram, like they're benefiting from celebrity. They have celebrity clients and celebrity patients. And I'm 1,000% sure that snowballs into having more. Because if one of the professional athletes in your area are your patient, the likelihood of getting more when that person has had a good experience is really, really high. And that can snowball. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, that's where the guys from the St. Louis Cardinals, like they all go there and they get adjusted. That's the sort of thing that can happen. That's where the mayor gets adjusted. That's where so-and-so actor or actress, that's where they get adjusted. That's where they get treated. So what you're doing in that sense is you're getting authority from somebody else. It's like being transferred to you in a legitimate way. You're not just going around taking pictures with people and letting people assume. You legitimately are taking care of people. I never had a lot of celebrity people. I had some of the people that work for the mayor, some of the people like right below the mayor. That was kind of as close as I got with the political sphere. And then probably the most popular person that I ever had as a patient was a radio DJ in St. Louis. So one of the radio DJs in St. Louis came in, was a patient of mine, talked about me on the radio. That was kind of cool. But I've never, whatever. I was on TV a few times. I was on the radio for a little while. Like there was little things like that are celebrity. So I would just say, look around and say, what are your opportunities? If you have somebody that's in your practice that is known within your community, I would ask. I mean, I wouldn't ask right away. Take care of them. Do a good job. Build that relationship. But ask them. Ask them to take a picture. Ask them to do a video. Ask them to do a testimonial. Take advantage of it. If you've written a book, milk that. If you're on the radio, if you're on local TV, if you've been on a news spot before, cut that clip, put it all over your Instagram, put it all over your website. Just milk the heck out of it. Anytime you have the opportunity to have authority, I would just say, take it and use it. Like double down, triple down, quadruple down on it, because it's going to give you, one, it's going to make things easier. And two, it's going to give you opportunities for other things. If you've been on TV before, the likelihood of you being on the radio, being on the news again, if they need to ask a chiropractor something, that goes way up. If you've been on the radio before as a guest on someone's radio show, the likelihood of you being on again goes way up. If you have one celebrity client, the likelihood of having more goes up. And all of those things, like I say, make your practice easier because people see those things and they do value them. Now, the hard thing is this: how do you get those opportunities? Some of them are your own doing. Some of them are your own doing because you're talented and you're awesome and you're amazing. So if you have those opportunities, then do it. Even if they're small, do it. Make a big deal out of anything that can add authority to you as a chiropractor. If you don't have the opportunities, then just do a good job and wait for those opportunities, but just be aware. Be aware that when they come around, and don't try to milk a relationship that has not developed. That's not smart. We talked about relationships in a podcast before. It is not smart at all when someone comes in and like their first visit, it's like somebody that's really known in the community and then you're trying to milk it for your own attention. It's not good. People do stuff like that all the time. People that are known are sick and tired of it. And so treat them like everybody else. Treat them really well. Do a good job. Take good care of them. And when you've built that relationship and established that relationship, you'll have the opportunity to benefit from having done a good job with someone who's a big deal. That's the way that you go about doing that. So the main thing is just make sure, and ultimately let me just say this as a kind of in this, excellence does matter in the long term. I talk about it off and on about how I think chiropractors should be excellent at anything that they do. If you're going to do it, be good at it. It really does matter, because if you get that opportunity where like, hey, somebody comes in, the guy from the radio station that came in, the radio DJ that came into my office, I had, my staff was actually, they were kind of like, well, what if, they kind of assumed because they knew who he was. And they were like, this person, what if they don't have a good experience? They're going to talk about it on the radio. Like they were sort of nervous about like, what if they don't have a good experience? Like, what if you can't help them? Like, what if it goes poorly? I don't know. And so they're kind of saying like, he's going to talk about it on the radio. That's what he does. He just talks on the radio. And I was like, I wasn't really worried about that because I was good at what I did. So excellence does matter. And you're never going to get the opportunity you're not going to get those opportunities for long. Even if you finagle yourself into a situation where you get the opportunity to be on TV or you get the opportunity to be on the radio or podcast or whatever, and you open your mouth and you say dumb things, or people come to you as a chiropractor and it turns out that you're sort of incompetent. You're just not very good. You don't get good results. it'll undermine your opportunities you have for authority. And so you probably, if you do get it and you're crappy at what you do, you're probably not going to have it for very long. So just take that into consideration if you want to go this route, whether it's social media, whether you're a big deal on social media because you're a big deal on social media, or because somebody else's authority is kind of transferred onto you, or some combination of those things. Just make sure that you're really good at what you do, because then you can actually hang on to that. You can hang on to that cheat code, and you can carry that momentum for a long time. And trust me, it will make your life way easier as a chiropractor. All right, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening to this series. I will talk to you on the next episode. See ya.